All right, welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and we got a couple days yet for the Vikings to figure out what they're going to do with Harrison, the Hitman Smith. But we're going to talk about it. What is next for Harrison Smith? We're going to talk about what we think is next and what we want to be next.
Yeah. If you want to know what's next in your life, I hope it's subscribing to this channel by hitting that button right now. Boop, do it. And again, thank you to everybody who has subscribed. We just went over 11K a couple days ago. We appreciate every single comment, like, whatever, even if it was rude or not. We appreciate you guys.
We absolutely do. And you know what? Let's just we all know how good Hitman is, but just soak this in before we get into it. Soak that in. 35 years old. I don't know why I was thinking he's like 33, which is still old for a safety. But he turned 35 in February. Just a beautiful work of art.
Yeah,
beautiful.
That's a Hall of Fame career right in front of your eyes right there. I didn't know he was 35 either. I thought he was like a little bit lower in the 30s.
Just turned 35 in February. As of now, I mean, I think it's fair to say when it comes to Viking safeties, in no particular order, Paul Krause, Hitman, Joey Browner, we've been very lucky at the safety position. But now, you know, he is set to make a cap hit of $19 million this year. Obviously coming off not one of his best seasons. Let's talk about Hitman.
Yeah, I mean, so what's next? I think there's two options. He's cut or he's restructured. I mean, that's what's going to happen with the Hitman as far as the Vikings go. So let's just talk about those two options. What do you think the Vikings are going to do in regards to that?
Well, let me, what sparked this was Doogie today. I don't know where he said it. It was a quote. I got it from the Purple Persuasion, as always, where we get our news. But he quoted it saying, "At this point, I'll be surprised if Smith retires. He took a pretty decent pay cut a year ago. To me, he'll have to take an even bigger pay cut this year, blah, blah, blah." Basically, moral of the story is he doesn't think he's going to retire. He still wants to play, especially he loves playing for Brian Flores. So that's what I was a little bit surprised. And we know Doogie is definitely in the know. And watching Hitman, I won't be surprised if he actually did play until they basically said, "Dude, nobody's going to sign you." Like he loves football.
You see that a lot with the greats. I mean, whether it's baseball, basketball, whatever sport it may be, the good ones never want to seem to quit. They always want to keep on going. Look at Adrian Peterson. Shit, he played for 10 different teams.
He just wanted money.
Hitman he wants to keep playing. He wants to keep playing. He wants to go again. So the great ones never get it out of their system. They always want to play. I'm sure Harrison Smith will feel this way. When he's 82, he wants to go lay somebody out.
Well, last year, so he did take a pay cut last year. He went from 14 million to 8. His comment was, "It just felt right to stay." Career earnings, $87 million. The dude has made some cheddar. So at 35 years old, easily the oldest starting safety anyways in the league. He would have to take a pay cut, no doubt about it. The top safety right now is Derwin James, and he makes, I can't remember, but it was quite a bit. I want to say it was 19 million. Hitman is the 5th highest paid safety right now.
Yeah, and none, he owes the Vikings nothing. He doesn't have to do them any favors. He can sit there and be like, "You don't cut me, whatever the hell you're gonna do," and maybe they work something out. So I don't know. I don't know if there's been no vibes from the Vikings like front office, like if they want him back or not. I haven't seen any kind of snippets on that. Have you?
No, and I just think all of a sudden we're just going to see something on Twitter where it's like Vikings cut Harrison Smith or Vikings restructured. But let's start. So we're going to do what we think they'll do and what we want them to do. So let's start with what we want them to do. What do you want them to do with Hitman Smith, one of the greatest players ever?
I know, and I don't think this will be a popular opinion, but it's my opinion. I want them to cut him. I think his best playing days are behind him. I think it's time to move on. I love him. I love everything he's done for the Minnesota Vikings. And like you said, he's one of the greatest safeties to ever play for this organization. He's a future Hall of Famer. But the time has come to move on. I mean, he really hasn't done much since that week 3 performance against the Panthers where I think he had like 3 sacks and like 10 tackles. He was just on fire. To me, that was his swan song. I'm ready. I'm ready for him to move on. I want them to move on.
Yeah. So as I will always ask, what's your plan then? Because we just have Cam Bynum. Other than that, we have Theo Jackson, we have Lewis Seen, and we have Jay Ward. So if you're just going to say bye-bye Harrison.
We also got Josh Metellus, who's a defender who
they're
plays
not
everywhere.
Metellus at safety.
So you have options already on the roster. I think you probably use a draft pick, and then you also maybe assign a free agent. You do something. You can flesh this out. You don't have to like replace him in year 1. You got some players there who can at least fill the void at least adequately. I mean, Harrison Smith was not great last year, so there's options, and I think either a mid free agent signing or a mid round draft pick can at least fill that need.
All right, that's fair.
And it doesn't mean it's not going to be a bigger need, 2 years down the road, but we'll at least do that for next year.
Yeah, I mean, I want them to keep Metellus strictly at the role he played. So it's not like I just want them to also put Metellus back there with Cam Bynum. Metellus was so damn good last year, and he rarely played safety. He was all over the place. So yeah, it would be big shoes to fill. And like you said, it's not like they're all of a sudden going to fill in. All of a sudden, a new Hitman's going to be there. So it might be a little bump in the road. But luckily, Cam Bynum showed up. When it comes to me, what I want them to do, that's what we're saying right now, right?
Yep.
I want them to restructure his ass down to like $4 million. I mean, when you look at the highest paid safeties in the league, down when you get to like the 20th paid safety, you're in like the $4 million a year. And if we can get him down to $4 million, I think he wants to be here. I can't see him going to another team except maybe the Cowboys with Zim or something weird like that. But I think he wants to be here, and I don't think it's about the money anymore. And if for like $4.5 million a year, even if he comes in and just absolutely blows ass, he's still going to be better than. I mean, we can go sign Xavier McKinney. There's some big boy free agents out there that you're going to have to throw $13 million at a year. I would like them to get him to a super low price, bring in some other option, and just see what happens. That's it. That's what I want them to do. I want him back. Super ass cheap.
Yeah, I think they'll end up. I think they're going to probably restructure him. I don't think they'll just flat out cut him. As much as I'd like them to do that, I think they're going to keep him around. Yeah, $4 million, that's fine because you're still saving $14 million against the cap. You're going to save some cap room so to go and get some help at other positions. So again, I think it's becoming on to them. I mean, Harrison Smith, 35 years old, long ass career, a very good career, and yeah, it would be nice just as fans to know that this is his last year, and you can kind of have that, that goodbye season.
So as far as what we think will happen, is that your answer?
I think they'll restructure him.
So you think he'll be back?
I think he will.
Yeah. So I want him to come back, restructure. I actually think he's gonna be gone. I think they're just gonna cut their ties. I mean, I think they throw something at him, and maybe he does take it just because he wants to play again. Like I think they're smarter enough not just to flat out cut him. I think they're at least going to give him the option, like, hey, look, here you want whatever. But I don't think he's going to be back. I think he's gone. I think he's going to be gone. I think they're going to save that big old chunk as far as and throw it towards the next, towards the cap space. So I think he's gone. I don't know what they'll do. It's going to be a sad day not to see 22 back there. I hope he's back, but I do think he's gonzo.
All right, you think he's gone? I think they'll bring him back. I want him gone. You want him back. So really, it couldn't be any more mixed. We didn't even plan it that way. Is Friday? Does something have to happen on Friday regarding him? I thought I saw that somewhere. Or is it? I'm just making that up.
You always ask these really random questions.
Well, I don't know. I thought I saw it. Did you see that anywhere?
I didn't see Friday, but you know what? If you saw it, I believe you. I believe you.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments. What do you think is next for Harrison Smith? What do you want to be next for him? And how good has he been and where he will be in Vikings history?
Yeah, your fact should just be that Harrison Smith is the best ever. But I know you got one lined up, and I'll let you do it. We didn't even get to it. The free agents out there, aside from Xavier McKinney, and even in the draft, I mean, yeah, we got Newman from Minnesota. It'd be beautiful to bring a Minnesota boy in, but
Yubsky.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to like this because this fact is not about Harrison Smith. It would take over 9 million balloons to lift your house off the ground like in the movie Up.
Good movie.